Like an idiot, the vault dweller known as UnCooler forgot to enchant his Pip-Boy's mic, causing him to be hard to hear. Yep.
Oh, I see you and your brain I hypothesize after the indignant frequencies my receptors had recepted, such a partnership-based conclusion would be
My brain told me the think tank needs to be stopped. Can you help?
If I recall, I had a plan that was working, whatever it was. I don't think it reached fruition. I would recall fruit if it had happened. I wasn't trying to kill them, just keep them out of trouble. Blast. I probably... That will be difficult. It would be like fighting 5 scaled-down versions of me that have better depth perception. And they have an arsenal of vivisectors, brainial beams, and a rather nasty ray that can make your atoms do a happy... If you could survive those highly improbable odds and ends, then deceasing them is definitely an option. Although, I doubt killing them would do anything except make you feel better. Or let you brag to a... Well, you could try and appeal to their humanity. That's a tired cliche. And really, when they were humans, they weren't very good humans. Well, there's many things they have forgotten, sitting in their bowls. Friendship, the thrill of discovery. Much like your brain, I am certain there is something you can... A wise man, or if not, you can always make them succumb to fear. Then you came along, and bravery and or desperation trumped that little idea. Back to the drawing board.
Scare them how?
Oh, tell them I'm still alive. We had a nice chat, and we agree on a few things. That's... Or you could kill me and lie about it. Either way, it would be interesting. And if you are partial to lying and deception, well, you could tell them a ludicrous lie. The more over the top, they're more than a little gullible. Better make it convincing, though. Or it'll be the dissection table and vivisect. And if you speak of me, please try and make me look good. I am Dr. Mobius.
I want to find something out.
I'm having the most peculiar feeling.
You don't seem aggressive. Why broadcast threat to the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when... So many... As for the Psycho...
Wait, sounds like you built the Robo-Scorpions issued threats to keep the think tank occupied.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the raisins better. Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name. This name's as real as you or I. Although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of... Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it's... I must admit... Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their program. I certainly didn't until you said trap. And the radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to... I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. Probably... So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here. Or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in... Oh, you figured it out. No, Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros. They have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time and history. All that... I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their work. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but... And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I would... Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do. Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
Are you blaming me this?
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor mic. You were... Yes, very good. I should have mentats ingest you instead of the other way around. In any event, you show... But... And once they're off... I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly. Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible... But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much.
Okay. So, I like Mobius more than the Think Tank. The Think Tank kind of creeps me out. They have mannequins. Actually, let's first check if he has mannequins, and I'm gonna have to just kill them both. Don't have a mannequin. Don't do it. Mobius, your life depends on you not having a mannequin. So far, we're mannequin free. We're doing good. No mannequins in here. Good. Lots of mentats and other drugs. This guy's good at drugs. He does. No mannequins. You've earned yourself a mighty fine thank you for not owning a mannequin. My brain. Pocket. It's kind of weird. Hey, at least I didn't break my legs. Wanna help? So, I could, technically speaking, kill off both parties, which I have no clue if that gives any benefit. I don't really feel like doing that. Sink balcony.
You require some additional.
Swap body parts. Place your heart back in your chest, reattach your spine. Do nothing. Is that optional? Can I, like, keep my... You know what? I'm gonna...
You require some additional.
Okay, so... I'm stronger.
You require
I have a
some
better
addi-
damage threshold. Swap body parts. Place your heart back in your chest. You've lost the heartless perk. Cardiac arrest perk. Your heart is back in your body, but some advanced technologies remain. You are less resistant to poison, 50%, and robots are only somewhat confused by you, 25% less likely to score a critical hit. But on the bright side, healing chems are twice as effective. Yeah, no, I like the heartless and spineless perks.
You require some additional.
Okay. This will take forever.
We haven't seen anybody in a while. Maybe
You
the
require
monsters
some
have
additional-
stealth suits too.
Swap body parts. Okay, that's the perks we're gonna keep. Take forever for me to do all this crap. To the think tank. Away. It's red. Why is it red?
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal? I recommend watching your now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing over my brain. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is... With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our...
You think I'm a lobotomite? No, for my skull house is the brain of Mobius.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step in. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. Stop. You are lying. No, you are not. Your heartbeat, perspiration, all excessively... Why would you reason with that maniac?
Maybe you can confer.
Nonsense. Confer, colleagues. Those are two words I do not recognize.
Dr. Klein, I must intersect. Please, do not harm the lobotomite.
I'm not going to harm it. I'm going to dissect it until it's dead. Why the sudden intersection, Dalla?
I cannot stand a sweet breathing organism breathing in and out to suddenly not breathe. We must keep it alive. For study. Slow study.
Dalla, these vocalized pauses are unlike you. What do you care?
Klein, this lobotomite, it's a great sounding board. You respect ideology, right? This one's, well, it's got good ideas.
Silence, Dr. O. This is a think tank decision. Save your objections until after I have decided our course of action.
You know what, Klein? Stick a straw in your tank and suck yourself. Long and deep. And my name is Zero. Yeah, a big, fat zero with a slash through it.
The slash as a designator of... Why, that is brilliant. But how did you...
The lobotomite taught me that. Taught me a name is more than, that I should take pride in things like names. And you know what? Forget it, Klein. I hate you. And your theory of brachial beam oscillation? The Chinese had it first, you copycat.
How dare you? Brachial beam oscillation was solely my discovery. I expressly told you that and deleted all evidence to the contrary.
I, for one, cannot bear to let this continue. I don't see what is to be gained by throwing another body into our labs, especially one that has done us a service, gone where we feared to go. This lobotomite doesn't deserve our knives. It deserves our respect. We should care for it, feed it, nurture it, give it the life Gabe never had.
Why am I even listening to you fools? Enough of this mutinous chorus. If there's a word I hate, it's mutiny. And the word jism, which never made any sense to me. It's ridiculous putting j and zm together like that. Nonsense! I count as 5, like the mighty human hand I once had, with its 5 penises clenched in a fist. Nonsense! The mathematics of this situation are on our side, lobotomite. I believe... No, wait. Carry the 2, then... If this were a democracy, I would be concerned. We are too scientific for that. So just surrender. You dare use logic against me? That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm. For you? And for science? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain,
Okay,
the
sorry
Big
for that
Empty,
giant
became
gap
home to
commentary.
one of the brightest
just
minds
playing.
of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
Although, truth be told, the courier had barely explored the crater in an attempt to rush through and be done with the whole thing. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome gained a frontier town feel with the few modules installed. They shouted at each other across the HQ occasionally, either threatening each other or announcing a discovery. It kept things lively. Secretly, the Sync Central Intelligence Unit was relieved that not all of the personality chips had been found. What was there was enough.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
Blind-eye old Jefferson eventually discovered a new sound. Silence. It only made him more filled with the blues than before.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after the stealth suit had left it without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Lonesome Road. That's the next DLC we're doing. Big brain perk. Your brain is back in your body, but some of the advanced technologies remain. Your head still cannot be crippled, but you are only 10% more resistant to addiction now. Surprisingly, your damage threshold has improved by 10% minimum of +1 damage threshold. You've acquired the Big Mountain Transportal Ponder, where it is capable of transporting you and you alone between the Mojave and Wasteland and Big MT. Return to the Mojave, or go back to Big MT from the Mojave. Simply equip the teleporter transponder as you would any weapon, pull the trigger, and away you'll go. Note that it won't work in interiors or in combat situations. It is totally incapable of harming your enemies.
Huzzah, sir! Huzzah! Huzzah, sir!
We're gonna go ahead and get the rest of the things. I wish I would have done it so I could see the exit thing, but it's not gonna work out that way, I don't think. But for now, let's go ahead and go back to the wasteland. I have no clue where where it's gonna actually place me. Is it gonna place me by the satellite, or yeah, by the satellite? Okay, that was cool enough. Thank you all for watching. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more.